Hey everyone, Sycra here, and today I'm going to be doing a critique of one of the forum members over at the Sycra.net forums. Okay, so here we have Lara Croft, or it looks like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. There's some slight differences, but I'm pretty sure that's who it's meant to be. And being chased by a tiger. Cool. Now, first of all, I just want to commend you on your painting. It's really nice. I like how you did the trees in the background. I like all this atmospheric perspective. That's really cool. The way you've got a separation between foreground elements and even the effects you've got going on. Your painting is really not too bad at all. But the weakness of this is really in the drawing. And there's an expression, polishing a turd. And basically, it sounds mean, but that's kind of what you're doing when your drawing isn't at the same level. It's like you can paint it really nice, but if your drawing is very weak, it's still going to look like a bad image. So yeah, mostly I'm going to focus on talking about the drawing, and painting I don't even think I need to worry about anything. So let's just talk about the drawing then. Okay, so first thing I really wanted to point out was just that usually when you're doing a running pose or even walking, it's a good idea to have the hips and the shoulders opposing. So, you know, if the hips are, let's say your left hip is coming forward, then usually your left shoulder goes back and your right shoulder comes forward. And same with the arm. So, you know, which you did in this case, but it just looks a little odd the way you have it, because it's almost like both shoulders are somewhat shrugging, and then one of her shoulders is, let's see, her right arm is kind of going back, but then her hand is coming really close to her chest. So yeah, try and make it a bit more clear. And then I also started with some sort of vague perspective-y lines, just to get a sense of, you know, we're looking up at her. And so I noticed the trees in the background sort of have that going on, which again, you're doing well. So I'm just sort of making these guides for myself. And then you have to remember things like, well, if the camera is really low, we're going to see more of the underside of things. So we're going to see underneath her, you know, the area beneath your chin, where if you get like a double chin, that's the part that comes out. We're going to see some of that underneath her jaw. And what else? Pretty much everything. It's going to be closer to you. And so I brought the leg closer, and I kind of put her at more of an angle, so it's a little more dynamic. Now, what I'm doing with the tiger is, I think you did very well with the tiger. I thought maybe the tail could be up a little bit, but that's optional. But what I did think could be worked on was maybe having more of the back of the tiger showing, so that it seems more powerful. And it looks like he used reference for the tiger, which is really good. So, I mean, there's so many things you're doing right, so I have no problem with that. But I think it would be a bit more powerful if you could see some of the tiger's back, or it's more like its head it's a bit lower. But again, a lot of this is personal taste. Now what I did there is I had her necklace sort of coming off her neck or chest, I guess, wherever it would lay. And if her necklace is really tight, this wouldn't happen. But I'm taking artistic license, and it's really because anytime you have things like hair or clothing, like capes or anything flowing, anything that can move, right? It's a great way of adding movement, of adding interest to your image. just have those things, moving around, have the hair flowing, and you can also use those as composition devices to point. So what I would recommend for you, because drawing is an issue, is to do some red lines. And one of the reasons I hate doing critiques is because the one I did is not very good. But for you, I would really slow down and do a red line, get the basic, placement of the character, get the mood and the gesture and everything, get those arms looking correct. Use reference if you have to, just like the tiger. It really paid off with the tiger, so it's going to pay off the same way with human reference. And if you have to pose yourself, that's fine. It can be really helpful. If you have a friend or a family member who can, take pictures of you in a pose, or you can use them, you'll be surprised at how much that can help. And here I'm just trying to show the underside of some of the trees, a little bit like what you did already. So again, it's another thing you're doing well. So yeah, other than the drawing, there's not much really to talk about. And drawing, practice all the time, and you're gonna get it. So it's nothing you have to be worried about. Just make sure you're spending as much time as you can drawing. Okay, so yeah, just going over it. A lot of what you did is good. Man, the thing is, like, when I look at mine, it's bugging me more than yours is. Like, okay, I gotta get this going back, and this hand position's kind of, I don't know, maybe something like that would make more sense. It's a little bit odd. Or there'd be a bit more foreshortening. Anyway. So here's another thing to pay attention to, is usually, like, see here when you're looking up at someone, the collarbones are going to obscure the connection with the neck just a bit. And going to see more of the underside of her breasts, so got to get that as well. Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably bring this arm a bit down, and maybe I don't know, maybe the hand could be open instead of closed, and that just might, make it look a little more, I don't know, graceful or vulnerable maybe. Yeah, so something like that. And then you did great with the tiger, so nothing there to fix, except maybe you could, like, lift this leg up, and then that leg, the opposing leg, goes back, and then it's more like it's coming forward towards us. And you did good with your trees. So that's all looking good. I tried with this leaf to sort of point it towards the character. I don't know. Sometimes I'm afraid I'm getting too anal about certain things like that. Like, it doesn't really matter. You don't always have to point things, but anyway. And same with the splashing. I thought that could be a pointer. It could be more directional, more energetic. So even when you have little details, you can make all these things work for you. They don't just have to be background or like elements that it's like, yeah, they're just there, but they're not doing anything. If they can do something, then that's cool. Make them do something, So anyway, yeah, good work, and hopes this helped, and thanks for watching.